All right, guys. So continuation here. This is part two of what we were talking about. Why I got so mad the other day. So, in a nutshell, Andrew comes on my wall, calls me names, uses the words like everybody at GM thinks you're this, everybody at GM thinks you're that. Even when he's trying to save face, he's like, "Oh, I shouldn't have said it that way. I should have said it that everybody at GM thinks that." And it's like the way that the guy talks. I'm just being blunt, guys. Um, you know how when guys like other guys, how they like to talk like girls from the Valley in California, low IQ girls from the Valley of California, when guys like to sleep with other guys? That's how Andrew sounds to me. Okay? That's genuinely how the guy sounds to me. Like every time I say anything, he's always like wanting to counter it. But well, well, I shouldn't have said it that way. I should have explained that it's everybody at GM thinks this, and I probably shouldn't have put that on your wall. I mean, it's to the point where I don't want to be friends with this piece of shit anymore. I don't want to be. Okay, there's nothing in the relationship for me, Andrew. Okay, I think that you are a fucking scumbag. I'm sorry, but I do, and that's being nice. And so it just gets to the point where so anyway, so after I put up the video the other day, then he's messaging me behind the scenes. I shoot him a message. He responds, and long story short, I just said all bets are off, buddy. The Brandon that used to bite his tongue when you would put up a post about your twin turbo cars, about how great they are. The Brandon that used to bite his tongue and not tell everybody, yeah, but these jack fucks don't know how to keep the cars out of limp mode. They're saying that they can tune them. Okay, that's fine that they're altering the tune, but the cars are still going into fucking limp mode, which is why I haven't bought one yet. Instead of that kind Brandon existing moving forward, well, you're going to get your own fucking mirror image. And I don't care if I make mistakes, because guess what? Valley girl don't care, does she, bitch? Okay, it's just, I'm so sick of the one-way street, self-absorbed, mindless fucks out there who don't appreciate, hey, you know what? Brandon can be pretty ruthless, and he's never lit up one of my posts when I say that I've got this perfect kit, when it's not perfect, is it? And so I was the one begging them to change the clutch pressure early on, and this dude, and I mean, it's fucking documented, I think, at this point. It's probably in a message somewhere between us in fucking black and white, because I know I heard it. I know I heard it over and over. Every time I said we need to adjust the clutch pressure. Now, we have Dodson clutches. It doesn't matter what kind of fucking clutches you have if you can't adjust the clutch pressure, Andrew. This is years ago. This is when Amelia still had the record before Anderson Dick came along. That's another reason why Andrew's jealous, probably, is because I was begging him to adjust the clutch pressure. He wouldn't do it. Anderson Dick listened to me. Whether Anderson Dick was going to do it on his own or whether I gave him the idea is neither here nor there. I'll be happy to say that Anderson Dick did it all on his own. That's fine. But the difference is Anderson Dick agreed with me. He agreed that the clutch pressure needs to be increased to be able to go faster at the quarter mile. Meanwhile, Andrew and Pites and all these guys, I'm not saying they're bad people, but they couldn't understand this concept. They were focused, we got the new clutches. New clutches for Christmas, mommy. Okay, that's good. We got clutches from France. The clutches are coming. It doesn't fucking matter if you don't have the fucking clutch pressure, jack fucks. Now, this is all neither here nor there now. Now everybody knows the truth. But back then, it was all a mystery. And guess who was one of the people who solved the mystery first? Hi, you're looking at him. And guess what? I went and met with Anderson Dick. And Anderson Dick's like, you're right. Bingo. And we got along. There was none of this, who's your source? Where do you get that information? What thinks you're so smart? You don't know anything about cars. I mean, that's what the fucking conversations are every time I fucking talk to the fucking midget named Andrew Zurich. Go fuck yourself, buddy. And I've tolerated it and tolerate it and tolerate it and tolerate it. And I'm to the point, Andrew, where I'm no longer going to tolerate it, am I? No, there's going to be payback now, you fucking... I can't stand that guy. And so basically what's happened is... through our messages the other night, after I put up my mean video, he finally says, fine, I'll bet you the money on the upcoming Grand Sport. Bingo. So we bet $1,000. Maybe I lose. Maybe there's no Grand Sport coming before the ZR1. Maybe my guys were wrong. Maybe there was a change of plans in GM. I'll pay fucking Andrew the $1,000. That's fine. But as I've said from the beginning, if you're so adamant that you're going to insult my intelligence over this topic, I would much prefer you place a wager with me than to try to kill my credibility further. And for those of you who say, Brandon, you have awful thin skin. Who cares if these guys insult you? Let's back up. Let's do some more backstory. So once upon a time, I was on Corvette Forum, and these guys, Lou Gigliotti Jr., whatever the fuck the guy's name is, who is son of the LG Motorsports Lou, okay, Jr., who runs G-Speed, he kept getting on there and countering all my topics. And because a reputable shop was countering my topics, the moderators, like Deb Lowe and Steve Garrett and all these different people, decide, Brandon, you're wrong. And I get censored from the fucking group. I get not censored. I get kicked out of fucking Corvette Forum. And Lou Jr. went so far as to like attack me. And then if I would attack back, like character-wise, they would delete his post to conceal that he did it first, and then they banned me. Okay? So then I became a paying vendor because somebody on the inside at Corvette Forum said, if you become a paying vendor, then we'll respect you more. Okay, so it's bribery. I got to fucking pay you guys to not get banned. So be it. Okay, because I was like, why aren't you banning Lou Jr.? Because there was a point when Lou Jr. said on the G-Speed account, this is Lou Sr. Lou Jr. is so insecure that he had to pretend to be his dad, which is against Corvette Forum rules. You're not allowed to be somebody else on somebody else's screen name. It's an instant ban if you come on, say I'm somebody else on such and such a screen name. So they gave him a 1-week suspension. This is all fact, guys. They gave him a 1-week suspension, Lou Jr. at G-Speed. And in that whole thing, they banned me. Okay, so I come back as a vendor. I'm now BBB Vets. Okay, we're selling products on eBay. We have these oil fittings on eBay, right? I was the first one with these oil fittings. Now China has since copied them. You can find them for a dime a dozen on eBay from China, and they're cheap shit products from China. I had the real ones, okay, the nice ones, and I still do. If anybody wants the nice ones, I got them. So anyway, so I'm putting these up, and there's different people who are ordering them from me and everything. And somehow there's a few people on Corvette Forum who really can't stand me because I know the truth about what troublemaking pieces of shit they are. One of them's name is like Vetman, and there's just a few different people on there. And forgive me, maybe it's not Vetman, maybe it's Vetterman or something. I don't know. But the point is, and I know who these people are in real life. I know their names. I know where they fucking live. I know everything about these pieces of shit. And these people continue to cross me, which is fine. But the point is, what was I going to say? So I end up getting banned by Deb Lowe. This is Brandon Byers. Yeah, no shit, Deb. Hi, I'm a paying vendor. I got approved. No, I banned you. Yeah, and the other moderators said that if I became a paying vendor, that then they'd look past it. No. And then Deb Lowe goes up the chain, and they ban me again. And while I'm a paying vendor, I paid for the fucking month, and they banned me again. I mean, I could sue the fuck out of Corvette Forum. I really could, because the business practice, it's like they got my money. It's neither here nor there. So I finally got to the point where Facebook was starting up with the Corvette groups and everything, and I said, okay, cool. We're great. So then fast forward, and he's a nice guy, and he's been better than most, but the issue is Chet Beige cannot sustain, he cannot endure the debates that center around my topics. He can't have me in the groups. He has to delete me, okay? And it's a fact, guys. And he blames it on his other people, whatever, and it is what it is. It's like, I understand this about Chet. It is what it is. So then I'm getting banned from groups for discussing truth about the cars. I'm discussing an EDIF glitch that can get us killed. I'm discussing one in-tank fuel pump which can lead to detonation, which is documented on my cars to happening and is documented on other people's cars of happening, okay, in the exact environments that I predicted it would, where there's a lot of air coming in and the one in-tank fuel pump can't keep up. And if the engine blows while I'm in a turn, the oil goes all over the back tires and I spin off the road and die potentially, okay? It's a safety issue. And so, meanwhile, Justin, Horsepower Obsessed, and Andrew take the stance that I don't know what I'm talking about. And what happens is when these guys who have a name, like Andrew and Justin, decide that they're going to say that I don't know what I'm talking about, and this is back when we were still friends, and they start telling people behind the scenes he doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, understand something. Andrew has incentive to say that I don't know what I'm talking about because cars have left his shop with only one in-tank fuel pump when they needed two. Okay, so he can get sued right now. Okay, because instead of him tell his customers you need two in-tank fuel pumps, he has told his customers you don't need two in-tank fuel pumps. Okay, and therefore he's misleading them. Okay, he's putting them in a dangerous situation. Neither here nor there. I'm not going to get into all that right now. But the point is this: the guy has an agenda to try to prove me wrong on the fuel pump issue. Okay. Justin is like a little girl who runs to mommy. I talked to the guys at LMR and they said you don't need two fuel pumps. Okay, Justin, the guys at LMR in Texas, it's hot in Texas. Have I not told you 100 fucking times that when it gets below freezing and you drive your Corvette at near sea level, that's when the detonation occurs? I don't fault the guys at LMR for not knowing this. They're not in the right fucking environment to understand that this happens, okay? You, Justin, just experienced it in Pennsylvania with your zr1. You experienced detonation. That's because the spark plug was broken. Justin, the detonation is what ruins the spark plugs. No, Brandon, General Motors has a TSB about it. That's because General Motors is smart enough to know that their cars experience detonation, and they need to explain why it's happening. So they blame the spark plug manufacturer because they know that people as dumb as you are, Justin, are going to sit there and say, broken spark plug, and then you're going to sit there and say, that's the problem, and then you're going to sit there and say, Brandon's wrong, and that's what General Motors wants, okay? They want you to be so fucking stupid that you put the cart before the horse, the cause, the effect in front of the cause. Okay, the effect is the fucking spark plug gets broken by the detonation. The cause is the car is running lean, which causes the detonation. Okay, we know it's a fucking fact, guys. Like, we've proven it. We've lemon lawed multiple C706 that we could get to run lean in a specific environment. And General Motors admits to me, Taj Juchter, to my fucking face in a 45-minute long conversation at the NASA reveal, admitted to me, yeah, Brandon, you're right. We didn't test in that environment. The car's right at the edge of the fuel limit. You're right. Hey, Brandon, you're best off just lemon law on the cars, like you said, because General Motors is not going to put two in-tank fuel pumps in the car because $300 for a new fucking fuel pump times 100,000 Z06s is $30 million. And General Motors isn't going to do that, okay? And so I agree. I get it. But the problem is we that drive fast in these environments are still in a dangerous car. So I said to Taj, and I've repeated this a million times because it's true. I said to Taj, if you guys get it wrong on the C8 Z06 again, I will be ruthless. So get it right on the C8 Z06, because this was back during the convertible C8 Stingray NASA reveal when I'm talking to Taj. I said, get it right on the C8 Z06, put two fuel pumps in there. Otherwise, I will be ruthless. I'll forgive the C7 Z06 because you guys didn't know any better. On the C8 Z06, I will be ruthless. C8 Z06 comes out. Everybody on the inside who's a friend of mine, the car has two pumps. The car has two pumps. Okay, great. Thank God. The car has three pumps. Okay, great. Thank God. Car comes out. They've only got one in-tank fuel pump. They have two high side pumps. Guys, I told you the car needs fucking two low side pumps. The car has two fuel pumps, Brandon. They're the fucking pumps up top. You have to have the fucking feed pump to feed the fucking pumps up top. Otherwise, you run out of fuel pressure, and then the car experiences detonation. No, brother. And these guys are fucking retards. Okay, it's a proven fact at this point. I've gotten the C8 Z06 to run lean numerous occasions. So have other people. Just as I said would happen if you put on catless pipes and air boxes, the cars experience detonation. Misfire in cylinder 137. It's a fucking documented fact across more than 10 cars, guys, that I know about. So we know that we're right. We know that we're fucking right. Meanwhile, Andrew at CSP, you're not right. You're not right. You're not right, Ben. Stop telling people that there needs to be two pumps in the cars because I could get sued. So stop saying that, Brandon. Okay, I'm so sick of just selfish fucking weirdos looking out for their own best interest who think that they can then counter me and counter me and counter me. And the reason why when these people counter me it matters is because then other low IQ people like Clayton Smith, who thinks that he's very civilized because he sits there and, this person says this about you, Brandon, and this person said this about you, Brandon, and therefore we know that you're lying about the grand sport and that you're wrong and that you have a mental issue, Brandon. Guys, maybe the grand sport doesn't come, but is it not worth discussing when I have this much fucking evidence and Justin says that there's a 6.2 with two little helpers? And General Motors has not created one CTF ZR1 yet. And the reason why they can't create a CTF ZR1 is because if the next car is the Grand Sport, the CTF cars will be the Grand Sport. General Motors can lie on the experimental cars. They can put the wrong logos on the experimental cars, which is what they did with the E-Ray. The E-Ray had Z06 badges all over it when they were driving around Milford, okay? And in camouflage, out of camouflage, whatever they did, they put Z06 badges on the side of the E-Ray. They're allowed to do that on the experimental cars. They're legally allowed to do that. They are not legally allowed to do that on CTF cars. I'm going to repeat this for fucking Clayton Smith and all the other low IQ motherfucks out there. They are not allowed to put the Grand Sport logo, or excuse me, they're not allowed to put a ZR1 logo on the side of a Grand Sport once they produce a CTF car. They're not allowed to put the Z06 logo on the side of an E-Ray once they produce a CTF car. So if General Motors was going to pull a fast one, they would have to wait until the 11th hour and 59th minute to produce an actual CTF car, which is exactly what they're fucking doing. And this is what everybody doesn't understand. The Z06s, there were CTF cars out by now. They had the CTF cars out when they made the announcement. Here's the announcement. Here's the Z06. Here's the CTF cars. We're doing emission testing. Oh, we got a problem. Here's the boxes on the back of the car. Oh, we got to send the cars back to Colorado again. The boxes were on the back of the cars. Even in the experimental cars, the boxes were on the back. They were testing the cars. You have not seen one fucking ZR1 yet with a box on the back. Show me one fucking photo of an emissions box in the back of a ZR1 in Colorado. You haven't seen it. Why is that? Great question. It's a question that requires such a high IQ that Justin, a horsepower obsessed, can't ask it. Keith Cornett can't ask it. Steve Garrett can't ask it. Clayton Smith can't ask it. Speed Phenom can't ask it. Brink of Speed can't ask it. Not one of these guys and their IQ level can ask themselves, why haven't we seen a ZR1 with an emissions box on the back yet? Brandon has a point. This is weird. Why haven't we seen one? How is the car going to be built any day, okay, after New Year's, and we haven't seen any of these emission boxes in the back? How is Mark Royce setting fucking speed records when we haven't seen the emission boxes in the back? How can General Motors even have the tune, the verified tune, that say, yep, this is the tune, and therefore this is what's going to give us the top speed of 233 that Mark Royce is about to do, if they haven't fucking emission tested the car yet, and it passed? It has not passed emissions yet, guys. And so there's only so many possibilities here. Either GM's being really weird and they're putting the cart before the horse. And they're saying, here's our 1064 horsepower. Here's our top speed of 233. All this is subject to change because when we do our emissions testing like we did on the Z06, we're probably going to have to change the tune. That's going to affect all these different things. So just don't sue us later for false advertising. That's one possibility, okay? The other possibility is that General Motors knows that this engine, this LT7, isn't going into the car right now. And instead what they're doing is they're showing off how amazing the body and the chassis and the aero is on the new car coming. And they're using this de-restricted LT7 to show you guys how awesome it is. They're also telling you how much power they can actually get out of the LT7. Taj said it himself, take it all the way to the top. Just make as much fucking power as you can and no limits, whatever it is. He said on the Jay Leno show, Jay Leno's Garage, 1064 was the number. Okay, that's fine, but that's not how you pass emissions, boys. Okay, and anybody who's ever tuned a car knows this. So the point is, okay, the point is, General Motors, in my opinion, a high likelihood possibility is they want to show off and they want to instill to you how much power they can make with this motor. And then later when the EPA cracks down on it, a year from now, 2 years from now, whenever they release the real ZR1, everybody looks at the EPA as the bad guy and they say, yeah, but General Motors had 1064 before the EPA got involved. Okay? Bingo. So does every other fucking car manufacturer. So does McLaren. So does Ferrari. So does everybody. General Motors is using these little things as marketing ploys. General Motors has the most horsepower of any production car ever, except for just one problem. There's no production car. There's no CTF cars, guys. It's all experimental bins. Now, could there be a production ZR1? Sure. Could the production ZR1 come out before the Grand Sport? Sure. But are there a lot of red flags right now which lead us to believe, including my guys from the inside at GM who said that the Grand Sport's coming first, is there a lot of red flags leading us to believe that maybe it's worth discussing in the fucking groups that maybe the Grand Sport comes first and what kind of evidence do we have? And so I throw out my evidence and other people throw me their evidence. But guess what? Clayton Smith
gets out the big magic eraser. Nuh-uh, this can't happen here. This cannot happen in my group. I'm deleting it. This is not right, Brandon. I am sick of your lies.
I am so sick of these mental midget motherfucks. I am so sick of how stupid these guys are. And it's disgusting to me. And the whole reason why this fucking Clayton Smith guy gets the fucking guts to censor me and only me when he's a true blue patriot from Texas who believes in freedom of speech. The only reason why he gets the fucking backbone to fucking censor me is because people like Justin and Andrew at CSP, their opinions matter, and they say this about you, Brandon, and since the group and the community doesn't like you, Brandon, and they all think that you're full of shit, Brandon, we're going to censor you. So you see how it's a fucking domino effect? The same way that the fucking moderators at Corvette Forum determined that I was lying because G-Speed said I was lying about something, which I wasn't lying about. I ended up creating the oil cooler, put it on a C7 Z06. It ended up working better than anything G-Speed had. Okay, the point is, and for way less money, it was like 1/10 of the cost. The point is, because they had their cooling kit for the C7 that was like $15,000 or more if you go to the nth degree to actually get to their oil cooler. And I was giving the oil cooler at step one, which solved the problem. And that's what G-Speed was threatened about because I was threatening their business. The same way that I'm threatening Andrew Zurich's business because he understands that he's put a lot of cars out on the road with only one intake fuel pump. It's these shops don't want to get shown up by a guy who is so fucking fed up with their bullshit that he does it himself. And that's what I am. I'm a guy who's so fed up with the fucking bullshit lies that I do it myself. It's my life on the line. I drive the cars fast enough to where I care if they're right or wrong. Hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from. Hopefully you guys understand why I finally fucking snapped and put these pieces of shit in their place. And if they want to continue to cross me, great. If Andrew ends up being right, that the ZR1, which you gotta understand something, guys. At this point, when there's a ZR1 revealed and everybody says the ZR1 is coming, okay, he should have given me odds on our $1,000 bet. But I took straight up $1,000 bet with Andrew because I'm a person of principle. And I said, this is what I wanted. I wanted people to just bet me money, be respectful, continue to have discussion in the groups. If I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I pay out an ungodly amount of money to all you guys. But if I'm right, you guys pay me. I am sick of people thinking that they can run their mouths with no negative consequence. And a monetary bet makes it where everybody thinks twice before they run their fucking ignorant mouth. It's that simple. Makes me think twice. If I lose a bunch of money, it makes everybody else think twice. Why a monetary bet is an evil thing, instead of us all sitting there calling each other derogatory names, is beyond me. Maybe Clayton Smith can fucking explain it to you guys. Because I actually asked Clayton Smith kindly, I said, listen, even after you've banned me, go ahead and put it up that I'm still willing to take bets. Even though the Z06 has been revealed, or excuse me, the ZR1 has been revealed, go ahead and put it up that I'm still willing to take bets. Brandon, that's not going to happen. Why? You guys are all so positive that I'm wrong. Put that up that I'm willing to still take bets. He wouldn't do it. That's not going to happen in my group anymore. Okay, buddy. Okay, princess. And so it's just against one of my rules now. It's against my rules. And so that's the end of that video. Hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from. Andrew and I, to give credit where credit's due, had a decent conversation the other night. But I told him, I said, I'm not backing down, buddy. You're not going to just suddenly start kissing my ass and I'm going to start being nice to you and it's going to edit undo all the other bullshit. You've crossed the line. You came to my fucking wall. You know, it'd be one thing if we were buddies and we talked all the time and blah, blah, blah. Everybody at GM thinks you're a clown. Maybe I could take that as a joke. Instead, there's long periods of time of radio silence. And the kicker is what people have told me behind the scenes that this guy says about me is almost to a T what the guy wrote on my wall. So I always give people the benefit of the doubt until the words come out of their mouth. And he wrote exactly on my wall what other people have been telling me that the guy's been saying about me for years. Which to me, it just means the guy's a fucking two-faced fucking slime ball. Little bouncy slime ball. Little midget motherfucking slime ball. See ya.